respect will be communicated as soon as possible. Signed, Rep. Nole Inaji, MHR. The second announcement, also on a similar subject matter, is coming from Honorable Tesir Ubo, member representing Kwande Oshungo Federal Constituency of Benue State. And his message reads as follows. It is with deep sorrow that I inform you of the passing of the esteemed elder statesman, Wantarege Paul Onungu, who died at the age of 87 and will be buried on the 30th of November 2024 at his hometown in Kwande local government of Benue State. Paul Onungo was a Second Republic Minister of Steel Development and was a very influential politician in northern Nigeria, replacing Maitama Sule as the chairman of the Northern Elders Forum in 2017. The elder statesman was a pillar of strength and a source of inspiration to so many who knew him. His dedication to the betterment of our nation and his unwavering commitment to the welfare of his people will never be forgotten. I hereby invite this honorable House to the burial of this noble statesman and request for a minute silence in his memory. Sincerely, signed, Honorable Tesir Ugbo. So, honorable colleagues, please shall we rise for a minute silence in honor of these two very distinguished personalities. May their soul rest in peace. Any member with petition? Any member with petition? Yes, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Right Honorable Comrade Chinedu Oga Owen. I represent Iko Ezasa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I have a petition from OCO Emmanuel Chamber, Solicitor Advocate of Supreme Court of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the petition is passionate appeal for urgent intervention to unjust, unlawful termination of employment of Mrs. Olubidemi Adabayo, a staff of National Intelligence Agency. Mr. Speaker, may I seek the leave of the House to lay the petition?
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? Honorable Jesse is around? No, he's on leave. I'm not surprised. Professor Lillian.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Professor Lillian Orobu. I represent the good people of Oka, North and South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Anambra State. Mr. Speaker, this morning I have a petition from a constituent lawyer. And the petition is an appeal for intervention in recovering debt owed their clients in the sum of 46,437,126 kobo by Anambra Imo River Basin Development Authority, Owerri. Mr. Speaker, with the leave of the House, I want to lay this petition.
Please go ahead.
Thank you.
Right Honorable from Plateau.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Fom Dalio of Cholom, a member representing Barkin Nadio Federal Constituency. I seek the lead of this House to lay a petition. I'm also among the petitioners. It's a petition against Nigeria Electricity Liability Management Limited, that's NEMCO, for illegal demarcation of our property number 13A, McDonald Road, Ikoyi, Lagos. Mr. Speaker, we seek the permission of this House to lay this petition to address certain issues of after-sales demarcation of our land. So, submit this petition, sir.
Please go ahead. Any more petitions? No? All petitions are referred to the Committee on Public Petitions for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the first motion of the day is coming from Honorable Kafilat Obara. If Honorable Kafilat is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, respected colleagues, good morning. I rise this morning under Order 8, Rule 5, that the House suspend all relevant rules to allow me to take this motion of urgent public importance. Thank you.
Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Sese.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My name is Honorable Sesi Oluwaseun Wingan, and I represent the people of Badagry Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State, and I rise today to support the motion ably moved by my sister, Honorable Kafilat Ogbara, that will allow her to take motion.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion, Honorable Isiaka.
Actually, Mr. Speaker, Ibrahim Ayakunle Isiaka, I just wanted to draw your attention. Okay, I couldn't move quickly to see my colleague because we don't know the subject matter. And it will be very difficult for me to second what I don't know about. Then that's one. Then before we suspend the rules of the House, you just let us know that the matter is urgent first. And they should be taken first leg, then second leg, we should suspend the rules of the House. So I just want her to refine that, then I'll second it. Thank you, sir.
Honorable Ayokunle.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
Aye.
Subject matter.
Okay.
Just seconded so that you can
Oh, that's a clarification, not a secondment. Okay. Can you clarify for us to get a seconder?
Yes, sir, thank you. The motion is on
Fantastic.
the International Day for the elimination of all forms of violence against women. Thank you.
Are you satisfied, Honorable Isiaka? You are he for she.
That's
aren't
correct,
you?
sir. I'm she for he, for she, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much. Ibrahim Ayokunle Isiaka, for Iwepo Federal Constituency. I'm from Ogun State. I ask Mr. Speaker to second that we do accept that this matter is urgent and that we suspend our rules to take it. I so second, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Ize, are you a he for she or she for he?
Excellency, I am he for he.
He for he.
Yes, yes.
You are a pastor. Oh. You have to be careful. Honorable Kafila, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The motion is on the International Day for the elimination of all forms of violence against women. The House notes that the International Day for the elimination of violence against women is observed annually on the November 25th of every year, serving as a global reminder of the need to eradicate violence against women in all its forms. The House notes that violence against women is a pervasive violation of human rights that affects millions of women and girls around the world, manifesting in physical, sexual, and psychological harm. The House is aware that the United Nations has identified the elimination of violence against women as a critical component of achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. The House is worried that systemic discrimination, cultural norms, and societal attitudes contribute to the perpetration of violence against women, necessitating comprehensive strategies for prevention and response. The House is also worried that violence against women and girls remains largely unreported due to the impunity, silence, stigma, and shame surrounding it. The House is informed that violence against women continues to be an obstacle to achieving equality, development, peace, as well as the fulfillment of women and girls' human rights. The promise of the Sustainable Development Goals to leave no one behind cannot be fulfilled without putting an end to violence against women and girls. The House is also informed that it is crucial to raise awareness about the various forms of violence against women, including domestic violence, sexual harassment, trafficking, harmful practices such as female genital mutilation and girl-child marriage. It is important that support services for survivors of violence, such as legal aid, counseling, and shelter, must be strengthened and made accessible to all women in need. Whereas education and community engagement are essential in changing societal attitudes and promoting respect for women's rights, the House resolves that we should urge the National Orientation Agency to raise awareness campaigns, educate the public on VAP Act 2015 across 36 states and FCT. Urge the Ministry of Budget and National Planning to increase funding for the Ministry of Women Affairs in order to establish survivors' shelter, the homes where we ensure that they have access to necessary care and support. We urge state houses of assembly through the Conference of Speakers to push for motions on the domestication and implementation of VAP Act 2015. Finally, we should mandate Committee on Women Affairs and Social Development to establish mechanisms to monitor progress on the effectiveness of the VAP Act 2015. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, respected colleagues.
I need contributions from the true he's for she's. And I'm sure Honorable Adodogo being a husband of 3 wives and so many female children would want to at least say a word or two.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, the Speaker of the People's House, indeed the Speaker of the Women and the Youth. My distinguished respected colleagues, I remain Honorable Ado Dogwa. Honorable members, I represent the people of Dogwa, Tudunwada Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Kano State. My respected colleagues, I rise as directed by the Right Honorable Speaker to lend my voice or credence to the motion on the floor as moved by my dear sister, Right Honorable Kapilat. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I believe in this period of progressive politicking and progressive democracy that we operate in this country, I think there is no two-point about all of us lending our voices to Honorable Kapilat to allow this motion fly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to say on behalf of Halima, on behalf of Ummah, on behalf of Bulkisu, and on behalf of Binta, my 4 respected, beautiful wives in my home, I support this motion and it has to fly. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
God bless you, the leader. Let's see other he for she's. Dr. Patrick.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker. Very esteemed colleagues, I rise to support the motion as moved by my friend and dear sister, Honorable Kafila Togbara. It's a day to acknowledge the contributions of womanhood to our democracy and to seek the support of our colleagues in support of women who take care of us at home and beyond the homes. I am fortunate to be a man with just one wife, with no intention to take another one. So on behalf of the women, beginning from my mother to my children, my dear wife, and all female teachers that I have learned formal and informal things from, including even Professor Lillian, I support this motion. I support the women wholeheartedly, and I ask that my colleagues will support this motion for our democracy. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let's hear from the pastor and get inspiration from what he's going to say. I'm sure he's a true he for she.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, our own dear Speaker, GCON. Revered colleagues, Eze, Wachuku Eze is my name. I represent the good people of Ebonyi, Ohuku Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from the south of the nation state, Ebonyi State. I rise this morning, Mr. Speaker, coming from an unrepentant, polygamous background, who have seen in the course of my growing up what women pass through in our various localities as a village boy. Unfortunately, to be here this national discourse where women affairs and their welfare and security and safety is being discussed. Mr. Speaker, I think this motion is timely, and I urge all our members to lend their voices to read. Even the scriptures ascribe to the women as the weaker vessel, and we are here today to strengthen it. And having said this, I'm thinking about repenting from the he to he to he for she, he to he for she. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. I think we are
Honorable Disu, you are disturbing the House. Kindly sit down. Thank you.
Honorable Nalaraba, are you a he for she?
Certainly, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No, he didn't answer me. Are you a true he for she?
Certainly, Mr. Speaker. Number one, he for she in the entire chamber.
Are you sure you are more he for she than Honorable Adodogwa?
Mr. Speaker, Adodogwa is more he for she than me, but I am more he for she when it comes to supporting women, Mr. Speaker.
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Abubakar Hassan El Araba is my name, OON. I represent Awedo Makiana. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support this motion as the number one he for she in the entire chamber. When I said number one, Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to tell you that I supported my wife to contest for election of House of Assembly in Kaduna State, which is the majority leader at the moment. So I think I deserve to lay my voice on this, Mr. Speaker. Women need to be supported, and women need to be encouraged. Mr. Speaker, we all need women in our life. They could be annoying sometimes, very annoying, but we don't have option to live with them, just like they don't have option to live with us. So, Mr. Speaker, I totally support this motion with my everything, and I will urge the House to equally support this motion, because when you have a good woman that is happy at home, you find out that you will be very happy at home.
You can see my elder, Honorable Faleke, smiling, looking good. It's because his wife is taking good care of him. So we all need women to take good care of us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to contribute. I so submit.
Thank
Mr.
you very
Speaker.
much. Leader.
Honorable
I think you need
Jafaru
to
Leko,
second this
stop
motion.
distracting Honorable Billy Famous Asawaro. Honorable Jafaru Leko.
Leader, you need to second this motion on behalf of leadership.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. A great man with a sense of mission and a sense of nation. I rise to appreciate first my colleagues for their very positive comments and for everything they are doing to alter, redefine, and refocus the culture of housewifeization, which works against the interests of women. On that note, Mr. Speaker, I second wholeheartedly the motion moved by my colleague, comrade, and sister, Kafila Togbara. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. We are not saying it loudly, honorable colleagues. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Women Affairs for further legislative action. The second motion is coming from Honorable Sesi Oluwaseun Wingam. If Honorable Winga is around, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My esteemed colleagues, my name is Honorable Sesi Oluwaseun Wingan, and I represent the entire people of Badagry Federal Constituency. I stand today on Order 805, and I plead that you allow, that we suspend the relevant rules and allow me take my motion, which is a very urgent call to restore electricity in Badagry West and other affected communities within Badagry Federal Constituency after over 4 years of prolonged blackout. I so move.
Any seconder to the first leg, Honorable Hussein?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Hassan Sheikh Hussein. I represent the good people of Nasarawa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Second leg of the motion. Any seconder? Chair works.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Akin Alabi, and I represent the good people of Egbeda Onara Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the second leg of this motion, ably moved by Honorable Wingham. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Sesi, please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The Speaker, the House notes that the entire Badagry West and other communities within the Badagry Federal Constituency, a region of deep cultural and historical importance, have been without power for over 4 years, forcing residents to rely on costly and unsustainable fuel power generators. This financial burden, compounded by surging fuel prices, has caused widespread hardship for households, small businesses, and essential services. The House further notes that this devastating blackout has crippled essential services across the constituency, with far-reaching effects on healthcare, education, and agriculture. Healthcare centers struggle to keep essential vaccines and medicines refrigerated. The House recognizes that Badagry, as a coastal and historic city, holds enormous tourism and economic potential. Yet, the prolonged blackout has deterred both local and international visitors, reducing the area's revenue-generating capacity and stifling job creation. Additionally, the absence of electricity exacerbates security risk, particularly in a border community like Badagry, where poor lighting and limited resources increase vulnerability to criminal activities, intensifying the fears and struggle of residents. The House is aware that this blackout not only hinders equitable development, but is also a pressing humanitarian concern. Access to reliable electricity is a vital public safety, improved quality of life, and economic empowerment, directly aligning with the federal government's commitment to sustainable development, reduce fuel dependency, and enhance citizens' well-being. The House therefore resolves to 1. Direct the Federal Ministry of Power and Rural Electrification Agency to allocate emergency resources and prioritize funding for the restoration of electricity in Badagry and the surrounding communities. This includes expediting repairs and upgrades to transmission lines, transformers, and distribution network to ensure a swift restoration of stable power supply, thereby reducing reliance on sustainable and costly fuel power generators. 2, mandate the Committee on Power and Rural Electrification to ensure compliance with this directive and report progress back to the House within 8 weeks for further legislative action. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Chukwugozie, stop distracting Chairman House Committee on Finance.
Honorable Chagaya,
He's
can you
very busy
second?
these days.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya. I represent Nigerians, starting from Ilorin West, as a federal constituency of Kwara State. I rise to second the motion as ably moved by my friend and colleague, Honorable Wingan. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Power, Rural Development, and Rural Electrification for further legislative action. The next motion is coming from Honorable Dr. Billy Osauru. Dr. Billy, please can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you very much, my Honorable Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I remain Honorable Chief Dr. Billy Famous Adesuwa Osawaru. I represent the good people of Orion Federal Constituency of Edo State, a very proud Bini Chief. Mr. Speaker, I have a motion of urgent public importance on the need to deploy security agents to Isukwi, Imiegba, Okpekpe, and Imiekebu communities to halt herdsmen onslaught against innocent citizens. Mr. Speaker, I rely on Order 8 through 5 to move this all-important motion. I seek your leave. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the first leg of the motion? Any seconder? Honorable Leko, the chairman of the Committee of Deputies.
Please, if you want to see the speaker, kindly approach the acting chief whip first. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Dear respected colleagues, my name is Honorable Jafar Uleko, and I represent the very good people of Bogoro Dastafa Balewa. I rise this morning to second this very, very important motion that the motion is very, very important to be heard now. I so second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion.
Honorable Noli Naji.
Yes, Honorable. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I am Yusuf Kure Baraje. I represent Boso Payokoro Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Niger State. I rise this morning to ably second the motion moved by my colleague, the second leg of this motion. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion, is it the second leg? The first or the second? Second. That's the second leg. Okay, Dr. Billy, please go, proceed with your motion.
Thank you, my Honorable Speaker. The House knows that Section 14B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999 as amended, provides that the people's security and welfare shall be government's primary responsibility. Mr. Speaker, the House also notes that Chapter 4 of the nation's Constitution, Section 33(1), provides that every person has a right to life, and no one shall be deprived intentionally of his life, save in execution of the sentence of a court, in respect of a criminal offense of which he has been found guilty in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that every individual is entitled to respect for the dignity of his person, and accordingly, no person shall be subjected to torture or inhuman or degrading treatment. Mr. Speaker, the House is worried that on Monday, October 28, 2024, herdsmen invaded Ugbereke, a popular farmland known for its fertility, and destroyed completely the yam plantation of a youth leader in Isukwi community by the name of Mr. Samuel Igbenewu. Mr. Speaker, the House is very worried that on Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, 3 farmers by the names of Umuagene Obe, Emwesuweli Obi, and Ogbitabu Imodume, also from Okpekpe community in Edo State, were ambushed on the way to their farms and brutally murdered by suspected herdsmen. Mr. Speaker, the House is further worried that same day, the killers made their way to Ugbereke and killed one Undia Adongu, a male, while about 5 women were beaten and left to flee with various degrees of injuries. Mr. Speaker, this House is concerned that as a result of these violent campaigns, farmers in these communities no longer visit their farms for fear of being attacked or killed. Mr. Speaker, the House is disturbed that if the federal government fails to take the necessary steps to protect the lives and properties of the people, acute hunger, owing to food scarcity, will be the natural consequence, not just for the people of the area, but the entire Esako East local government area, and by extension, Edo State and the country in general. The House resolves, 1, urge the House to observe a minute silence in honor of those that lost their lives during these unprovoked attacks by herdsmen. 2, mandate the Inspector General of Police and other relevant security agencies to investigate this tragic incident and fish out the perpetrators for prosecution, while also tasking them to immediately set up the security surveillance so as to contain escalation of insecurity within Isiukwe, Imiekebu, Imiegba, and Okpekpe communities and beyond. The House, number 3, also mandates the Inspector General of Police, Chief of Defense Staff, Director General, Department of State Services, DSS, the General Officer Commanding GOC-2 Division of Nigerian Army, and the Commander, 4th Mechanized Brigade, Nigerian Army in Edo State, to deploy their personnel to Isiukwe, Imiekebu, Imiegba, and Okpekpe communities to safeguard the lives and property of the people. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the House urged the House Committees on Police Affairs, Army, and National Security and Intelligence to ensure compliance and report back to the House in 4 weeks for further legislative action. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Pastor.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. By name, Pastor Honorable Comrade Ojema Ojotu, I rise to second the motion beautifully moved by my very good friend, the proud Bini Chief. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Police Affairs, Army, and National Security and Intelligence for further legislative action. The leader, please, can you move for the House to suspend its rules to accommodate one more motion?
Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Ihonvere, ON, DSSRS, Owan Federal Constituency, Edo State. I rise to move that the House do suspend the relevant rules in order to accommodate additional motions of public importance. I so move.
Minority Leader, please, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I rise to second the motion moved by our able leader. I hereby second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, the next motion is coming from Honorable Daniel Asama Ago. If Honorable Adama is around, please, can you rise and move your motion?
Thank you, the People's Speaker. Honorable colleagues, I remain Ambassador Daniel Asama Ago, and I represent the people of Besa Jos North Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Plateau State. I rise this morning or this afternoon to move a motion of urgent public importance coming under Order 8, Rule 5, on a motion to investigate the recurrence of fire incidences in Katako Market of Plateau State. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder to the first leg? Honorable Ginger.
Thank you, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Ginger Obinna Omusibe. I represent the people of Isialangwa North, Isialangwa South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am an Ungba man from Abia State. I rise to second the motion as moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The second leg of the motion? Any seconder? Doctor? Or is it Air Vice Marshal? Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, the Agba King Officer and Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, and my honorable colleagues. I remain Air Vice Marshal Joao, retired, and I represent the good people of his Ekiti South Federal Constituency 1. I'm from the Fountain of Knowledge. I hereby rise this morning to second the second leg of the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable, please proceed.
Right Honorable Speaker, this motion is on urgent need to investigate the recurrence of fire incidents in Katako Market in Plateau State. The House notes with great concern the recent fire outbreak at Larento Katako Market in Jos, Plateau State, which has become a yearly occurrence. This incident has resulted in the destruction of properties worth billions of nairas, causing hardship to property owners and traders in the market. The House also notes that the market is divided into two sections, the wholesale and the retail sections, where items like second-hand and thrift clothing, foodstuff, plastic wares, timber, and other goods are sold. This incident has been recurring for more than 10 years annually at about the same time of the year. The House observed that this fire incident has never been investigated to a logical conclusion so as to bring out causes and proper solutions for the said yearly disaster. The House is concerned that the loss of businesses, assets, and investment is causing undue hardship to the business owners and the people of the state entirely. The House resolved to call on the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs to provide relief support to the victims of the fire outbreak. This support shall include financial assistance, food, shelter, and other essential items to help the victims recover from the loss. Second, to call on the Federal Fire Service to identify sections of the market needed firefighting installations, provide firefighting equipment, and training of market traders and stakeholders on the fire service and enforcement of safety standards in the market to forestall future occurrences. Lastly, to mandate the House Committee on Emergency and Disaster Management and the House Committee on Interior to ensure implementation of item number 1 and item number 2 accordingly. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Please go ahead.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is James Abiodun Falike. I represent Ikeja Federal Constituency. This is purely a constitutional point of order, Mr. Speaker. The motion he moved is purely out of our jurisdiction. It's that of local governments and the state. We cannot go and be investigating fire issues in markets. This is my point of order, Mr. Speaker.
The chairman rules. What is your view about this?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm Honorable Belisa Ambarura, representing the good people of Ilela Amgoraba Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Sokoto State. Mr. Speaker, in this respect, I have to agree 100% with the issue raised by Honorable Faleke. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, so I think what we need to do is just to modify the prayers, right?
Yes, sir.
So please, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm a Jahababao Chibok Dambogo, the federal constituency. Than for us to end up throwing the bathwater with the baby, there is nothing wrong in amending the first prayer of the motion and retaining the last prayer of the motion, calling for a relief materials and support to the victims of the unfortunate incident. So I move that the first prayer should be deleted and retained to the last prayer. I so move.
Any seconder? Honorable Deacon Okafo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My colleagues, Honorable Chike John Okafo, PhD, I rise to second the motion that would delist the first prayer and retain the second prayer. I so support, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Any seconder to the motion? High Chief.
Thank you, Your Excellency, my powerful Speaker of the 10th National Assembly, and of course, my awesome colleagues and strategic allies. I salute you. My name is Honorable High Chief Kenneth Moore Chukwugozie Nwachukwu. I am from Imo State, Nigeria, and I represent the great people of Olo, Osu, and Oru East Federal Constituency. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on emergency and disaster management for further legislative action. Honorable colleagues, the first business of the day is presentation of 21 bills. I'll now invite the clerk to read their short titles.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. Nigerian Research Institute Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Nuclear Safety and Radiation Protection Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Scholarship Regulation Bill 2024, first reading. Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999, 6th Alteration Bill 2024, first reading. Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Child's Rights Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Whistleblowing Bill 2024, first reading. Advanced Healthcare Development Fund Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. National Guards Bill 2024, first reading. State Internally Generated Revenue Disbursement Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Universities of Agriculture Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal Medical Centers Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. Electoral Act Amendment with Off-Season Legislative Elections Bill 2024, first reading. National Senior Secondary Education Commission Act Amendment Bill 2024, first reading. FCT Displaced Original Inhabitants Resettlement and Integrated Agency Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. National Assembly Financial Management Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Headquarters Situation and Relocation Establishment Bill 2024, first reading. Federal College of Animal Husbandry, Kaoji, Kebbi State Establishment Bill 2024, first reading.
Honorable colleagues, the second business of the day is presentation of reports of Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on a request for approval, implementation of a new external borrowing of 1,767,610,321,779 naira, which is an equivalence of USD 2.209 billion in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Euro bonds and other securities, standing in the name of Honorable Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba. Honorable members will recall that the matter was referred to the committee on Tuesday, 19th November 2024. The report is ready for presentation. Honorable Nalaraba is hereby invited to present the report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba is my name, OON. I represent the good people of Awido Makiana Federal Constituency. I'm from Nasarawa State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to present a report on the Committee on AIDS Loans and Debt Management, that the House do receive the report of AIDS Loans and Debt Management on request for the approval for the implementation of the new external borrowing of 1,767,610,321,779 kobo, which is equivalent to 2,209 million in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobonds and other sources. Mr. Speaker, I wish to seek the leave of the House to present this report. Thank you.
Any second?
Bashir Dogondaji, kindly take your
Deputy
seat.
Chairman of
Bashir
the committee
Dogondaji,
around?
please kindly take your seat.
Deputy Chairman, Committee on Loans and AIDS, please can you second?
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Architect Larry Okola. I represent the wonderful people of Surulere 2 Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos State. I rise this morning to second the consideration for the federal government's intervention on the Eurobond as ably moved by my chairman. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable Nalaraba, please proceed and lay your report. The third business of the day is presentation of 5 reports of Committee on Health Institutions, standing in the name of Honorable Amos Gomna Magaji. Honorable Magaji is hereby invited to present the reports.
Honorable Ambarura, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Rules and Business. Kindly take your seat.
Is not around? The bills are stepped down by the leave of the House. Honorable colleagues, the first order of the day is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act 2021 as amended to make provisions for establishment of Federal College of Agricultural Technology or PLO or JAPO Benue State to contribute to the development of Nigeria through training of qualitative manpower in agriculture by adequate exposure to sound theoretical background, practical farm and field demonstration, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Julius Ehoveri, House Leader. Honorable members will recall that the House adopted the report of the Committee of the Whole on the bill on Wednesday, 20 November 2024. I therefore call on the House Leader to move that the bill be now read the third time. Before you proceed, my attention has been drawn to the fact that there are other bills, other considerations, this is just one of them. The second one is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act Cap F22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2024, and establish Federal University of Agriculture, Kabba, Kogi State, for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. The next one is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the University Teaching Hospitals Reconstitution of Board ATC Act Cap U15, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters, also standing in the name of the House Leader. So, House Leader, please, can you take the 3 together? Is it 4? Okay. The fourth one is the third reading of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Center Act and establish Federal Medical Center Kwale, Delta State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. So, House Leader, please, can you take the 4 together?
House Service Chairman, you are distracting the minority wing of the House. You are distracting the minority wing of the House.
Thank you, Honorable Jah, for your good work. Mr. Speaker, Professor Julius Ehoveri, Owan Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm happily from the new Edo State with a new governor. I rise to move that the following bills be read a third time. SB 212, HB 1520, HB 962, and HB 680. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I rise to second a motion by our House Leader that the House do consider the following bills: SB 212, HB 1520, HB 962, and HB 680. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Agricultural Research Council of Nigeria Act 2021 as amended to make provision for establishment of Federal College of Agriculture, Technology, or PLU or JAPO, Benue State, to contribute to the development of Nigeria through training of qualitative manpower in agriculture by adequate exposure to sound theoretical background, practical farm and field demonstration, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Universities of Agriculture Act F22, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2024, and the established Federal University of Agriculture, Kaba, Kogi State, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the University Teaching Hospitals Reconstitution of Boards ETC Act U15, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and for related matters. Third reading. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Acts and establish Federal Medical Center, Kwale, Delta State, and for related matters. Third reading.
Bills read the third time and passed. The fifth order of the day is consolidation of two bills. Honorable members may wish to note that the bills are on the same subject matter. I now invite the Chairman, Committee on Rules and Business to move that the bills be consolidated.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Francis Ejirogene Waives, my name, and I represent the entire people of Ugele North, Ugele South, and Udu. I'm from Delta State. I rise to move for the consolidation of two bills on the same subject matter, standing on Order 12, Rule 15. The first is a bill for an act to amend the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act Cap C15, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2024, to insulate judicial officers from prosecution before being lawfully removed from office and for related matters, HB 1178. And the second is a bill for an act to amend the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal Act 2004 to enable public officers maintain foreign bank accounts outside Nigeria for the purpose of accessing funds while on official duties to facilitate transactions for pressing family needs and auxiliary expenses, and for related matters, HB 1894. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Deputy Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, right honorable colleagues, I'm Honorable Bill Ambarura. I rise up to second the motions for the consolidations of bills by the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Committee Chair, Rules and Business, please schedule a date for the commencement of debate on the general principles of this bill. The sixth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the second schedule to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Act 1999 as amended, to transfer mines and minerals, including oil fields, oil mining, geological surveys, and natural gas from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent legislative list and for related matters, standing in the name of Honorable Abbas Tajuddin and Honorable Babajimi Johnson. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 June 2024. And I invite the Honorable Benson to move that the bill be read the second time. Honorable, please, as the major sponsor, I will seek your indulgence to step down this bill for further consultations. Thank you. Bill stepped down by the leave of the House. The seventh order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, number of judges, Cap H6, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, to provide for increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and for related matters, standing in the names of Honorable Benjamin Okezi Kalu and 7 other members. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Tuesday, 23rd July 2024. I now invite Honorable Kalu to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the 10th Assembly. Honorable colleagues, my name is Benjamin Okezie Kalu. I represent the good people of Nigeria, starting from Ben, the Federal Constituency. Most distinguished colleagues, I'm from Abia State. This morning, I rise for a bill for an act to amend the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Number of Judges Act, Cap H6, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and for related matters. Most distinguished colleagues and Your Excellency the Speaker, this particular bill was co-sponsored by 7 people. Honorable Kama, Nkem Kama, Chinedu Obika, Jonathan Gaza, Jafaru Gambo Leko, Akin Rotimi, Babajimi Benson, and Joshua Audugana. If you may grant me this permission to allow one of the co-sponsors, Honorable Jonathan Gaza, to lead the debate, I'll be most delighted, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Let's get a seconder. A seconder. Honorable Kama, since you are one of the sponsors.
Honorable Mansur Jega and Honorable Bashir Dogondaji, kindly take your seats, please. Boya, Honorable Boya, kindly take your seat. Ikenga, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ian Zanzao, the newest GCON of this country, a man of peace. Mr. Speaker, Kama Nkem Kama is my name. I represent the awesome people of Ohozara, Onitsha, and Ibu Federal constituency, Mr. Speaker. I'm from Ebonyi State, the south of the nation. I hereby rise to second this debate as so moved by my leader, the Deputy Speaker of the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleagues, this is a constitutional matter, which I believe at the level of the constitutional review, all details of this particular bill will be comprehensively discussed. So with your kind permission, we'll just put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it.
Honorable Dixon Taki, caucus leader Benue, kindly sit down, please. Dixon Taki.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
A bill for an act to amend the High Court of Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Cap H6, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, provide for increase in the number of judges in the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on FCT Judiciary and Constitutional Review for further legislative action. The eighth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act number 43 to establish the Federal College of Education Technical Uzeba Lulela, Edo State, and for related matters, standing in the name of the House Leader. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 30th October 2024. I now invite the House Leader to move that the bill be read a second time.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act number 43 to establish the Federal College of Education Technical, Lusaba, Uleha, Edo State, and for related matters, HB 1852, be read the second time. I so move.
Any seconder? Yes, Honorable Jajere, is it Jajere there? Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My dear honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Joseph Mwabase, representing the good people of Zanot, Ishelu Federal Constituency. I rise this afternoon to second the motion as moved by the Leader of the House. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Honorable colleagues, this is an establishment bill. It doesn't require any debate, so with your kind permission, we'll just go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Colleges of Education Act number 43 to establish the Federal College of Education Technical, Uzeba Duleha, Edo State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Federal Colleges of Education for further legislative action. The ninth order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Northwest Development Commission Act to provide for geopolitical representation in the governing board of the Commission and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Julius Ehoveri, honorable members recall that the bill was transmitted by the Senate seeking concurrence of the House of Representatives. The bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 20th November 2024. I now invite Honorable Ehoveri to move that the bill be read a second time.
Honorable Satomi, kindly sit down, please. Honorable Satomi, Chairman, House Committee on National Security and Intelligence.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the bill for an act to amend the Northwest Development Commission Act 2024 to provide for geopolitical representation in the governing board of the Commission and for related matters, SB 567. And if you allow me, also a bill for an act to amend the Southeast Development Commission Act 2024 to provide for fair representation of members, geopolitical representation in the governing board of the Commission, and for related matters, SB 568, be stepped down for further legislative consultations. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Minority Leader, can you take the two bills, 9th order and the 10th order together?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my honorable colleagues. I rise to second the motion moved by our leader that SB 567 and also SB 568 be stepped down for more consultations. I do second, sir. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk. Oh, did you second? Did he? Oh, that's what the leader. You moved that the House should step down. We wouldn't have taken a seconder now. So the bills are stepped down by the leave of the House.
Bashir Buningwari, kindly go back to your seat. Thank
The
you.
11th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act and establish Federal Medical Center, AMPA, Kogi State, and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Abdullah Ibrahim Ali. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 30th October 2024. I now invite Honorable Ali to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, distinguished honorable colleagues. Abdullah Ibrahim Ali Halims is my name. I am from Kogi State, and I represent the marvelous people of Ankpa, Omala, Lamboro Federal Constituency. I rise today to move for an act to provide a legal framework to establish Federal Medical Center Ankpa in Kogi, in Ankpa local government area of Kogi State. I want to lead the debate on this very wonderful bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Zana?
Is there need for seconder? I just have to read.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My respected colleagues, I'm Honorable Zanna Usman, representing the good people of Kagagu, Bioma, Gomeri Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. I rise this morning or this afternoon to second a motion to amend the Federal Medical Center Act and Establishment Bill of Anchor Federal Medical Center. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Medical Centers Act and establish Federal Medical Center, Ankpa, Kogi State, and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Health Institutions for further legislative action. The 12th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to create a single term of 6 years for the office of President and state governors, recognize the division of Nigeria into the 6 geopolitical zones, provide for the rotation of the office of President, state governor, and chairman of a local government council among the inherent regions and zones, and provide that all elections be held on a single day and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Ikegwonu Oguchinyere and 33 other honorable members. Honorable members recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 17 July 2024, and now invite Honorable Ikenga to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Ikenga Imo Ugoshinyere. I represent the good people of Idato North and South Federal Constituency, Wafa Kokwana Lidato. I'm from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that a bill for an act to alter the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended to provide for a single term of 6 years for the office of President and state governors, provide for the rotation of offices of President and state governors and chairmen of local government council among the inherent regions and zones, and to provide that all elections be held on a single day to be read for a second time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any comment? Because this is a very important matter. I do not think if we can just go ahead and let's discuss and get the feelings of members first before we put the question. So I will yield the floor to Honorable Jaha, please. Any seconder? Honorable Gwacha.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues,
My name is Honorable Obi Agocha. I represent the great people of Ikuano, Umuahia North and Umuahia South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm an Abia man, the home of the most performing governor in Nigeria, Dr. Alex Oti. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second this great motion. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The nays have it. The 13th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the national office. Order, please. Order, please. Order, please. Acting Chief Whip, you are not doing a work.
Order!
Honorable colleagues, the 13th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, Act to change the use of the word national interest to public benefit and to increase the period provided for a term of contract as prerequisite to registration of the document under this act from 10 years to 20 years, and strengthen the capacity of the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion to monitor on a continuous basis the transfer of foreign technology to Nigeria, to encourage, regulate, and commercialize inventions, innovations, and research and development results more effectively, and enhance diversified representation in its governance for broader sectoral coverage and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Ngozi Okoli and Honorable Tijani Zana Zakaria. Honorable members will recall that the bills were consolidated on Wednesday, 20th November 2024. I now invite Honorable Okoli to move that the bill be now read a second time.
Order, honorable members. Order, please.
Is Honorable Okoli on the floor? Honorable Zana?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Tijani Zana Zakaria. I represent the entire people of Nguru, Machina, Yuspari, and Karaswa Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Yobe State. I rise to move for the second reading of a bill for an act to amend the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion, NATAP Act, to change the use of the word national interest to the public benefit and increase the period provide for the term of contract as prescribed to the registration of the document under this act from 10 to 20 years, and strengthen the capacity of the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion to monitor on a continual basis the transfer of foreign technology to Nigeria, encourage, regulate, and commercialize the inventor and innovation and research and development results more effectively, and enhance diversified representation in its governance of border sectoral coverage and for related matters, HB 1788 and 1846. I so move, sir.
Any seconder? Honorable Maki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, I'm Abubakar Maki Elleman. I'm from Jigawa State. I represent Malamudori Kaugama Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion heavily moved by my senior colleague. I so second. Thank you, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. I think, Honorable Zakaria, you need to do some further explanation to members for them to make up their mind as to whether this bill is good enough for their asset or not, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the establishment of the NOTAP, technology is the keystone of comprehensive and development. With its vast potential, Nigeria cannot afford to lag in the harnessing technological advancement. This proposed amendment of the NOTAP Act is timely to initial. It will provide a structural framework for promoting technology innovation and facilitate a more efficient transfer for technology, ensuring that our industries equipped with tools necessary for growth. Objective of NOTAP, the bill continue clear objectives of the NOTAP include promoting indigenous technology. We can reduce dependence on foreign policies and empower our inventors and entrepreneurs. Facilitating technology transfer. The bill mandates registration of all technology transfer agreements, ensuring that they align with the national interest and they contribute productivity to our economy. Prospering collaboration, NOTAP will act as a bridge between various sectors, government, academia, and the industry, encouraging partnerships that will drive technological advancement. Thank you, sir.
Honorable colleagues, you have heard the major content of the bill, so we go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this bill should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion Act to change the use of the word national interest to public benefit and to increase the period provided for a term of contract as prerequisite to registration of the document under this act from 10 years to 20 years and strengthen the capacity of the National Office for Technology Acquisition and Promotion to monitor on a continual basis the transfer of foreign technology to Nigeria to encourage, regulate, and commercialize inventions, innovations, and research and development results more effectively and enhance diversified representation in its governance for broader sectoral coverage and for related matters. Second reading.
Any seconder? My dear sister, please go ahead. Bill referred to the Committee on Science and Technology for further legislative action. The 14th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended.
Point of order.
What's the point of order?
You asked Honorable Regina to second, and she had not.
You see, that's why, honorable colleagues, please, I beg of you, unless it is very important, it is not good to be approaching the chair. It distracts me a lot.
Yes.
It distracts us a lot.
Yes.
What happened was that the clerk read the long title, but because I was engaged in another conversation, I thought it was supposed to go for secondment. That's why I had to call her attention. So sorry, my dear sister.
Please, honorable members, to avoid distracting the chair, kindly approach the chief whip before seeing the speaker.
Please. Let us respect that.
Please.
It's not good for us always to be interrupting
acting chief whip
when plenary is going on. Please.
Yes.
Later. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
The 14th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Olamijo Ayodeji Alao Akala, honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Thursday, 27 February 2024. I now invite Honorable Akala to move that the bill be read a second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Speaker, my own GCON. Thank you so much. I remain Olamijo Ayodeji Alao Akala, representing Nigerians from Ogbomoso North, South, and Rural Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, I rise up this afternoon to debate general principle on the bill to alter the Federal Constitution of Nigeria to create a new state in the Southwest, which is Ibadan, and Oyo Ogbomoso. Mr. Speaker, the proposal to make Ibadan a state is not a constitutional restructure. It's just not just a constitutional restructuring, but a forward-thinking move that will address several socio-political and economic concerns. It is a call to empower the people of this region and to provide the necessary infrastructure and governance needed for the people to thrive. Sir?
It has not been seconded yet.
Okay, sir, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm just gingered.
You are carried away,
I'm so carried away with the plans of my people, sir. With the Ogbomoso people.
Any seconder? Honorable Regina. Honorable Usman, can you stand up for recognition? Stand up for recognition. Is Alabia around? Sit down. Honorable Regina, go ahead.
Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Regina Akume, representing the good people of Bokotaka constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Benue State. I rise to second the motion moved by my dear colleague. I so second. And we apologize for disturbing you. Thank you. You are such a nice person. God bless you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Akala, you have a task.
Honorable Yusuf Gaddi, Focus Chairman, Plateau State, kindly take your seat.
What is your constitutional amendment all about? You have 2 minutes to convince us.
Chairman, Plateau, kindly take your seat.
Thank you, my speaker, my GCON, and my honorable colleague, and my powerful friend right there, my chairman. Thank you so much. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleague, my bill seeks to alter the constitution to create a new state, which is Ibadan, and Oyo Ogbomoso. The proposal is to make Ibadan a state. It's not just a constitutional restructuring, but a forward-thinking move that will address several socio-political and economic concerns. It's a call to empower the people of this region and to provide the necessary infrastructure and governance needed for the people to thrive. Ibadan, the current capital of Oyo State, has a rich history, a strategic location, and a growing economic and social infrastructure that qualifies it for statehood. Being one of the oldest and most historically significant cities in Nigeria, Ibadan long served as the capital of Oyo Empire, one of the most powerful and influential empires in West Africa. Its cultural heritage is reflected in its landmarks, traditions, and institutions. Now, in support of my argument for Oyo State and Ogbomoso as its capital, the significance of Oyo State has a deep historical connection to the Oyo Empire. Currently, Ibadan, this capital of Oyo State, dominates as a capital hub, but shifting some of the focus to Ogbomoso could encourage infrastructure development and economic growth in undeveloped areas. The case for Ogbomoso as the capital stems from being the second largest city in Oyo State after Ibadan, its historical role as a crucial town in Yoruba history, and its central location in the state. I must call the attention of the significance of the Ogbomoso land and the balance that the office will bring to this development. The monarch's wisdom and authority has been significant in maintaining peace and ensuring harmonious relations among the diverse groups in our region. The Shawun is a symbol of community's continuity and resilience, ensuring that the social and political fabric of Ogbomoso remains intact despite external pressures, which prove we have observed in the eminence of the current and 28th Shogun of Ogbomoso land, Obagandi Afolabi Olaoye, Dorumgege III. Oyo State and Ogbomoso might both have cultural weight, but elevating Ogbomoso to the capital would foster great regional integration, promote social and economic development across the state, and create a more inclusive and balanced governance structure. As the capital, the region could benefit from the additional resources and attention needed to support its continued expansion. Conclusion. The Constitution in the ground norm of our nation, but amendments are necessary due to changing social, political, and economic conditions and the evolving demands of governance. The creation of Ogbomoso as a state and its own capital, and Ogbomoso as the capital of Oyo State, is a strategic and timely move for the advancement of the southwest region of Nigeria. It will promote balanced economic growth, facilitate both governance, encourage decentralized decision-making, and provide an opportunity for sustainable development, and reflect the needs of the people. By empowering the people of this region, we create a platform for the flourishing of education, commerce, infrastructure, and regional unity. I strongly support this development, and I urge everyone and my colleagues to please support me in creating this new region and this new state for the people of Ogbomoso and Oyo State in general. Thank you, my colleagues, and thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Honorable Cyril, as part of the group, the coup group, can you second?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Not that you second, please, can you say something in support?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
If you can.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for yielding the floor to me. I remain Hart Cyril Godwin. I represent the fabulous people of Boni, Degema, Federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Rivers State. For me, what I see here is justice and fairness. And I think I also expect to see more of this coming particularly from my comrades from the Southeast for equity and fairness. There are some states, some zones rather, that have 7 states. I'm from the South-South. I have 6 states. The Southeast has 5 states. So it's only fair for us to have equity, fairness in the representation of states in the geopolitical zones. So I commend Okala, my very good friend, for coming up with this lofty idea to have an additional state for the Southwest. Those of us who are from the South-South, Mr. Speaker, before I end, shall be approaching the House again to propose an additional state, particularly that will come from River State, because we are the biggest in number. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I second this very lofty idea. I beg to second, Mr. Speaker.
You are not seconding, you are just contributing. Thank you so much. So I think we can go ahead and put the question. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to alter the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended and for related matters. Second reading.
Bill referred to the Committee on Science and Technology for further legislative action. Bill referred to the Committee on Constitutional Review for further legislative action. The 15th order of the day is commencement of debate on the general principles of a bill for an act to amend the Federal Highways Act to empower the Minister of Works to direct, authorize, and instruct every agency, ministry, parastatals, and department of the federal government involved in the design and construction of federal roads to include the construction of public utilities on the shoulder/side of all federal roads across the Federation and for related matters. Standing in the name of Honorable Sechi Oluwaseun Wingan. Honorable members will recall that the bill was read the first time on Wednesday, 31st October 2023. And now invite Honorable Wingan to move that the bill be read the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My esteemed colleagues, my name is Honorable Sechi Oluwaseun Wingan, and I stand to represent the people of Badagry Federal Constituency. I'm from Lagos, and I stand today to plead with the House to allow my bill be read the second time.
Wonderful. Any seconder? Honorable Jafaru.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Jafaru Yakubu. I represent the good people of Bali, Gasol Federal Constituency. I stand here this afternoon to second the motion for the bill to be read for the second time by my honorable colleague, Right Honorable Ceci Winga. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable colleague, this is an infrastructure-related bill, so I think it doesn't need to go into any long debate. You want to say something?
No, sir. I just want the sponsor of the bill to shed light on what he means by shoulder of the road and roadsides and public utilities. This house deserves to be educated because public utilities, to my understanding, is convenience across highways, and road shoulder, to my understanding, is where motorists normally park, and in the event of any unfortunate accident, the road shoulder is what is going to protect the motorists. So I need further explanation.
So I think Honorable Winkan, he has a point there. Maybe you need to say by the side of the road or whatever. By putting shoulder, it means you are saying immediately after the road, which is a little bit not appropriate.
Thank
But
you,
you
Mr.
can
Chair.
respond, please.
Okay,
respond.
thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Speaker, I'm very much aware that parks and parks meant for utilities is normally cited at the edge shoulders of the road. So what I'm saying is that we need to deliberately create parks along our road that will accommodate utilities and accommodate, give good experience for travelers. What I'm saying is the Ministry of Works should make provision. It will saddens my heart that, imagine us traveling 20, 30 kilometers and we realize that there is no provision at all. The other day I was driving on the smooth road.
Honorable Wingan, I don't know whether members are convinced that the terminology by the shoulder of the road is appropriate, but let's hear more contribution from members and then we take decision. Honorable Isiaka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. What he actually got wrong there is the engineering terminology, sir. Shoulder is immediately after wearing course, and that is still part of the road. And you cannot put toilet along the shoulders of a road. So it should be maybe a distance on the roadside, not on the shoulder. Because when you say shoulder, it's saying they should put toilet on the inside the road that is constructed. Because shoulder is part of road construction. That's the terminology, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Okay.
So it meant to say by the roadside for public accessibility. That is what he has missed in the terminology used in the bill.
Okay, Honorable Satomi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Engineer Satomi Ahmed. I represent Jere Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Borno State. This is a very good bill. What it simply means, in engineering, we call it service stations or serviceability points along the highways. Normally, depends on the cost, construction, and the requirements of the roads in questions. And most of the time, it do happen on private roads. In a country, there are provisions for privatization, proper engagement of BOT on road construction and other, so that not only restrooms and toilets, including other basic amenities required on the roads, like filling station, coffee tea shops, stopover for vulcanizing and check-ins of other facilities that has to do with the vehicle. So it's a very good bill if it will be taken into consideration in line with our act of practicing, particularly the highway engineering and engineering design bills. So I think it's a very good bill that if the country will adopt that henceforward, looking at its requirement needs, not only toilets, let's include other services like filling station, copy stations, security checkpoints, emergency medical facilities, etc., etc. So therefore, Mr. Speaker, it's a very good and welcome bill if it will be amended and then put into its right proper pronunciation. Thank you very much.
Okay, Honorable Sesi, are you willing to amend? Can you move if you are prepared to do so?
Yes, sir. Mr. Speaker, I move to amend the world shoulders to lay-bys or service stations.
So are you moving?
I move to amend, sir.
Okay. Honorable Jaha, can you second? No, it is okay. We don't have time. I think we have said enough.
I'm Jaha Babao, Chibok Damboa, Goza Federal Constituency. I rise to second this important motion, a bill to be read the second time. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This is an infrastructure-related motion, so with your kind permission, we'll just put the question. Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to amend the Federal Highways Act to empower the Minister of Works to direct, authorize, and instruct every agency, ministry, parastatal, and department of the federal government involved in the design and construction of federal roads, to include the construction of public utilities as amended of all federal roads across the Federation and for related matters. Second reading.
Be referred to the Committee on Works for further legislative action. The 16th order of the day is a motion on illegal harvesting and commercialization of human eggs in Nigeria, standing in the name of Honorable Komoti Bitrus Laori. Honorable Laori is hereby invited to move the motion.
Honorable Billy Famous Asawaro, kindly sit down, please. Thank you.
Thank you, esteemed Speaker, honorable members. My name is Kwamoti Bitrus Lauri. I speak for the people of Jamsa, Numan Lamude Federal Constituency of Adamawa State. The House notes that the commercialization of human eggs, particularly in the context of illegal harvesting, possess significant ethical, legal, and health concerns globally. In Nigeria, the issue has gained prominence due to a growing demand for assisted reproductive technologies amid insufficient regulations. Also notes that Nigeria's healthcare system, particularly reproductive health, is still evolving, coupled with the increasing infertility rates among couples seeking assisted reproductive treatment, thus leading to a flourishing market for human eggs. Concerned that the demand for human eggs has led to exploitative practices such as illegal egg harvesting and commercialization, often targeting vulnerable women, particularly poor teenagers, unaware of the risks involved. Aware that in 2021, the Nigerian authorities discovered an illegal egg harvesting scheme in Lagos, where a network of medical professionals and agents lure young women, mostly students of low-income earners, with the assurance of monetary rewards for their eggs. Reportedly, women receive between $200,000 and $500,000 or $120 to $300 for their participation, which is below international pricing standards. Also concerned that a large number of women had little knowledge about the medical procedures, potential health risks, and ethical implications of egg donation. Some experience ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome and other serious health issues after harvest.
a woman's complication during an operation at a local clinic led to an investigation by the National Agency for the Protection of Trafficking in Human Persons, NATIP. Further concerned that in 2022, an Abuja-based fertility clinic was found involved in the illegal commercialization of human eggs to foreign clients, enrolling women under false claims of being part of legitimate egg donation programs. Reports suggest the clinic online platform is inflating egg prices for international couples, underscoring the need for a robust Nigerian regulatory framework to regulate fertility practices. Worried that the absence of comprehensive legislation governing reproductive health in Nigeria has allowed these illegal activities to thrive. While the National Health Act provides some guidelines for reproductive health, specific regulations regarding egg donation and commercialization are lacking. Further worried that due to the effect of the worsening economic situation in the country, this illegal practice has thrived, with many young women seeking financial relief falling prey to unscrupulous practitioners who exploit their desperation for financial relief, ignoring the health risks associated with egg retrieval procedures, as well as the unethical commodification of human life and the psychological impact on donors. House resolved to urge the Federal Minister of Health and Social Development and the Minister of Women Affairs and to create support system for women who had participated in egg donation to help address health complications and psychological impacts. 2, also urge the Minister of Health and Social Development and the Minister of Information and National Orientation to intensify public awareness initiatives focusing on risks and ethical consideration of egg donation to help inform potential donors and discourage exploitation. 3, mandate the Committee on Health Services to investigate the spread of illegal egg donation and practice of assisted reproductive health technologies in Nigeria. Recommend measures to prevent further incidents and report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. 4, also mandate the Committee of Healthcare Services and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Doctor.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, my colleagues. I think I want to commend the mover of this motion.
Are you commending or you are seconding?
I will.
Please go ahead as a second, please.
Okay, sir. Right Honorable Speaker and my colleagues, I rise up this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. Let's have it. This motion is referred to the committees on healthcare services, public service matters, special duties for further legislative action. The 17th order of the day is a motion on the need to investigate the activities of anti-corruption and transparency units, CTUs, in ministries, departments, and agencies of government in the country, standing in the name of Honorable Shehu Umar Ajilo. Honorable Ajilo is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, the ENZO GCON. My name is Umar Ajilo, member representing Magharibi and Kudan Federal Constituency. I am from Kaduna State. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, my motions today need to investigate the activities of anti-corruption and transparency units in the ministries, departments, and agencies of government in the country. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the House knows that the Independent Corrupt Practice and Other Related Offense Commissions, ICPC, requested the establishment of the Anti-Corruption Transparency Unit
popularly referred as an ACTU in all MDS, to help in the fight against corruptions. Note that on October 2nd, 2001 and April 16, 2003, two circulars were issued for the establishments and funding of the unit, respectively. Also note that another circular was issued on October 5th, 2016 to re-emphasize both the establishment, which it is independence and protection should be granted. Aware that the unit is supposed to be watchdog or anti-corruption division service with the responsibilities of monitoring the activities of federal government, ministries, departments, and agencies, and reporting any matter that is regarded as corrupt practice to the ICPC for further actions. Worried that despite these circulars and efforts, corrupt practice still persists in most MDAs, and if not checked, corruption will continue forever. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, the House resolved to mandate the Committee on Anti-Corruption to investigate the activities of Anti-Corruption Transparency Units, ACTU, in all ministries, departments, and agencies in the country, and report within the 4 weeks for the further legislative action. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Makama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The ENZO, GCON, my honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Kabiru Yusuf Makama. I represent Al-Kaleri, Kiri Federal Constituency. I am from Bauchi State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion moved by my honorable colleagues and my friend Honorable Ajilo. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committee on Anti-Corruption for further legislative action. The 18th order of the day is a motion on call to investigate and prosecute age falsification in Nigeria Civil Service, standing in the name of Honorable Yusuf Ahmed Badao. Honorable Badao is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My honorable colleagues, Badao Ahmed Yusuf is my name. I represent Shannon Ogoy Federal Constituency. I'm from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I stand to move a motion called to investigate and prosecute age falsification in Nigerian civil service. The House notes that the Federal Civil Service the Federal Civil Service of the Federation is the heartbeat of the public service administration in the executives, legislatives, and judiciaries. Also note that the role of civil servants constitutes the foundation of nation building. Consequently, strong and viable public service system needed in the promotion of effective and efficient public service to the country. Aware that the primary responsibility of the legislative arms of government in Nigeria is to monitor and investigate violation of laws enacted by it, which include matters pertinent to age falsification and other matters related to the public service in Nigeria. Also aware that a rising number of unemployment caused by age falsification is highly of concern and required urgent investigation and prosecution. Concerned that in the last quarter of 2024, the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, reports indicate that the unemployment rate has raised by 5.3%, making Nigeria one of the countries which was the most unemployed populace in the African countries. Also aware that the number of graduates without jobs is extremely worried in requiring swift action to address the issue through investigation and prosecution as falsification offenders in order to create space for bright new mind to impart in the productivity and prosperity of the public service in Nigeria. Also mandate the public service matters special duties, federal character, and building a national planning and economic development to investigate and the head of civil service of the Federation report within six weeks for further legislative action. I also mandate committee for legislative compliance to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Any seconder? Honorable Jallo. Amendment to the prayers? Go ahead.
Honorable members, no, I just want to amend the period. Honorable members, if you observe in the second prayer, the mover of the motion is demanding for 6 weeks. And based on our standing order, is 4 weeks. So I'm just amending that to be 4 weeks instead of 6 weeks.
Did you make the amendment? Yes. Okay. Any seconder? Seconder, Doctor.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable colleagues, I am Gali Mustafa Tijani, representing Alabasuga, Jengi Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Kano State. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by Honorable Badao. I so second.
Those in support of this amendment should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Those in support of,
not seconded.
Please, can you second?
Right, Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, I'm Hussein Mohammed Jallo, representing Igeba Federal Constituency of Kaduna State. I hereby second the motion ably moved by my colleague. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Public Service Matters, Special Duties, Federal Character, National Planning, and Economic Development for further legislative action. The 19th order of the day is a motion on devastating effect of the 2022 and 2024 floods. Need to mitigate the effects of the impending flood due to the release of water from the Lagdo Dam, standing in the name of Honorable Obuzo Victor. Honorable Victor is hereby invited to move the motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for yielding the floor to me. My name is Honorable Victor Obuzo. I represent the good people of Ahoda West, Oba, Egbema, Ondoni Federal Constituency. I'm from Rivers State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move this motion on the devastating effects of the 2022 and 2024 floods and the need to mitigate the effects of the flood due to released water from the Lagdo Dam. Mr. Speaker, the House notes that Nigeria experiences rainy season between June and September annually, and most states, including rivers, have been severely affected by flooding during this period, resulting in destruction or destroyed infrastructure, crops and livelihoods, and displacement of communities. The House also notes that between 26 November and December 4, 2022, the displacement tracking matrix of the United Nations International Organization for Migration and the Nigerian Red Cross Society identified 28 locations in Rivers State affected by floods, with Oba Egbe Maundoni local government having the highest number of affected persons, numbering over 186,601 individuals, followed by Ahoda West local government area with 45,690 individuals. Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that on September 17, 2024, the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency alerted the public about release of water from the Lagdo Dam in Cameroon, which previously caused 2022 flooding and devastation in Ahoda West, Oba Igbima, Ndoni Federal Constituency. The release submerged over 60% of the landmass, displacing people, destroying livelihoods, damaged farmlands and infrastructure. They are also aware of the NISA 2024 Flood Outlook Report, which placed Ahoda West and Oba Egbema Ndoni in the high-risk area, red zone, and recommended desilting waterways, building embankments, and developing flood mitigating infrastructure, noting the Ndoni River as a distributary of the Niger-Benue system, channels massive water flows, thus exacerbating the flood risk in the constituency. Mr. Speaker, the House recalls that in 2012, President Goodluck Jonathan promised to complete a 208-kilometer dredging project for the Orashi River to reduce flood risk and protect communities, but the project remains incomplete. Mr. Speaker, the House is concerned that despite the World Bank's disaster resilience analysis, the Global Rapid Damage Estimation Assessment, and multiple reports recommending proactive measures, relevant agencies have delayed action to prepare for 2024 floods. Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to urge the Ministry of Water Resources, Environment, Inland Waterways Agency, Ministry of Works, and the NDDC to commence the desilting and dredging of the Ndoni Creek, the Orashi River, Omoko Creek, and Sambrayo Rivers to increase their capacity for managing excess water and include same in the 2025.
Order, Honorable Jimmy Benson. Order, order. Honorable Jimmy.
The House also resolves to urge the Ministry of Works to construct buffer dams as strategic inlets at Ndoni to mitigate overflow from the Niger River into the Orashi and Sambrayo rivers. The House further urges the National Emergency Management Agency to provide relief materials, including healthcare services, to the affected communities and implement flood early warning systems to enhance community resilience. The House resolves to, again, urge the Ministry of Environment to conduct an environmental impact assessment in Ahoda West, Oba Egbema Ndoni, to evaluate the extent of pollution caused by oil and gas operations exacerbated by the flood event. Mr. Speaker, the House also urges the Ecological Fund Office to undertake river embankments and shoreline protection projects in affected communities of Odereke, Oshobole, Akinima, Omoko, and Ondoni to halt riverbank erosion and improve water transportation. And finally, Mr. Speaker, the House resolves to mandate the Committee on Works to ensure compliance and report progress within 4 weeks, Mr. Speaker. I so move.
My lost and found friend, Bature.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues, my name, as we all know, is Alexander Mascot Ikweche, and I represent the indomitable people of Aba North and Aba South in this propitious assembly. I rise to second the motion ably moved by my dear friend and brother. I so second, Mr. Speaker. Thank you very much.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That's have it. Prayers as resolved in the motion. The 20th order of the day is a motion on rehabilitation of Insuka, Impigu, Adani Road, standing in the name of Honorable Martins Oke. Honorable Oke is hereby invited to move the motion.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Honorable Dr. Martins Oke. I represent Ibetiti Ozowan Federal Constituency. I'm from Enugu State. I rise this afternoon to move a motion on a call for the rehabilitation of Nsoka Nkpologu Adani Road. The House notes that the 40 kilometers Nsoka Nkpologu Adani Road is a federal road extending through other towns in Anambra State to Onitsha town. Also notes that Uzowan local government area is a major food basket in the southeast, housing Adan Farm Settlement and Adaras project, a joint project between Enugu State government and federal government. Also notes that recently, the Nigerian Navy commenced the construction of a jetty at Ogrugu town, a neighboring community to Adan, in the same Uzowan local government area. Concerned that Nsuka Nkpologu Adan Road is in a deplorable state, and major parts of the road have become impassable, thereby preventing farmers, traders, and other users from plying and benefiting from the business opportunities that abound in the area. Worried that due to the dilapidated state of the road, which is the only one leading to the agrarian communities in the area, there has been a rise in kidnapping and armed robbery attacks on unsuspecting commuters, leading to the loss of lives, properties, and ultimately jeopardizing food production and distribution in the area, Enugu State and Nigeria in general. Also worried that the deplorable state of the road has caused immense hardship and undermined the federal government's efforts to achieve food security and protect lives and property. Cognizant that rehabilitation and reconstruction of the road will stimulate sustainable agricultural production in the area and improve the socio-economic status of the people and the country as a whole. The House resolves to urge the Federal Ministry of Works and Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to include the rehabilitation of the Nsoka Nkpologu Adani Road in the 2025 budget estimate, and mandate the Committee on Works, Federal Roads Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to ensure compliance. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder? Honorable Miriam.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Distinguished honorable colleagues, my name is Right Honorable Miriam Odinaka Onoha. I speak for the people of Okigwe, Onimo, Isi Alamba, non-federal constituency. I am from Imo State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I rise this afternoon to second the motion, ably moved by my dear brother. I so second. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. This motion is referred to the Committees on Works, and Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, for further legislative action. The 21st order of the day is consideration of the report of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on a request for approval, implementation of a new external borrowing of 1,767,610,321,779 naira, which is equivalent to $2.20 billion in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobonds and other securities. Honorable members will recall that the report was laid on Thursday, 24th November 2024. Honorable Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba will move for his consideration.
Honorable Awaji Nombek Dagomie, you are distracting the leader of the House.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues. Abubakar Hassan Nalaraba, ON Sadokin Lafia is my name. I represent the good people of Awedo Makana Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Nasarawa State. Mr. Speaker, I rise to move for the consideration of the report of the House, that the House do consider the report of Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on request for approval for the implementation of the new external borrowings of 1,767,610,321,777 naira 0 kobo, which is equivalent to 2,209,000,000 in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobonds and other sources, and approve recommendations therein. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
The Deputy Chair, please.
Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues, my name is Architect Larry Okola. I represent the wonderful people of Surulere 2 Federal Constituency and from Lagos State. I rise this afternoon to second the motion ably moved by my chairman for the consideration of the report. I so second. Thank you.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. That is have it. Before I call on the leader, let me make some announcements. One is an omission to recognize students from Victoria Salem International School coming from number 2 Doctor Street off Kubaru Road, Ado Karu, local government, Nasarawa State. If the students are still around, please can you rise for recognition. Students of Victoria Salem, you are most welcome. You're welcome. Please sit down. Again, we have an announcement in respect of the birthday of one of our colleagues, Honorable Ize Nwachuku Ize, representing Ebonyi Owaku Federal Constituency of Ebonyi State. Today is his birthday. So on behalf of the House, we are extending our congratulations to Honorable Ize for adding one more year to his life. And it is our prayer that God will continue to uplift him and make him succeed more and more. It is my pleasure as well to announce the constitution of conference committees in respect of 2 bills. The first is the Southwest Development Commission bill. The members of the conference for the Southwest Development Commission are as follows: Honorable Abiodun Faleke, Chairman; Honorable Felix Nweke; Honorable Harrison Uchema Okonko; Honorable Isabella Ambarura; Honorable Dr. Medala Osman Balami; Honorable Ojema Ojotu as members. We have the South-South Development Commission Conference too, where we have Honorable Frederick Abedi as chairman, Honorable Adebayo Adedeji, Honorable Chike John Okafo, Honorable Aminu Ahmed, Honorable Usman Zanna, Honorable Jeremiah Umaru as members. The last announcement is in respect of meeting of all regional leaders, zonal caucus leaders, and state caucus leaders with the leadership of the House on Monday, 25th November 2024. And the meeting will take place at the Chamber Office, White House, by 4 p.m. Thank you. Leader, please can you move?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that the House will resolve into committee of the whole to consider
supply.
the report. Supply, sorry. To consider the report number 21. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, my name is Aliyu Sani Madaki, and I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second, sir.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. The House has resolved to the Committee of Supply. Thank you.
Honorable colleagues, welcome to the Committee on Supply.
Honorable Agilo, kindly come back. Honorable Agilo, consideration of report is very important. Members should please come back for consideration of report. Thank you.
We have only 5 recommendations for this request for approval for the implementation of the new external borrowing of 1767 610-321-779, which is an equivalence of USD 2.209B. In the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobond and other sources. Recommendation 1, Recommendation 2, Recommendation 3, Recommendation 4, Recommendation 5, please, Leader, move that the House reverts to plenary to consider the report from the Committee of Supply.
Mr. Chairman, I rise to move that the House do revert to plenary to enable the chairman give report from the Committee of Supply. I so move.
Thank you very much. Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Chairman, my highly respected colleagues, Aliyu Sani Madaki is my name. I represent the Ala Federal Constituency of Kano State. I stand to second the motion that the House do revert back to plenary. I do second.
Those in support of this motion that will revert to plenary to consider a report from the Committee of Supply say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House hereby reverts to plenary to consider a report. Most respected colleagues, the House in Committee of the Whole consider the reports of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management and request for approval for the implementation of the new external borrowing of 17673217779, equivalent of 2.209 billion US dollars in the 2024 Appropriation Act through the issuance of Eurobonds and other sources, and approve recommendation 1 to 5 of the report. Leader, please move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of Supply as a working instrument of the Parliament. Please.
Mr. Speaker, Julius Ihonvere, Owan Federal Constituency. I rise to move that the House do adopt the report from the Committee of Supply as ably presented by Mr. Speaker as well, a working instrument of the House. I so move.
Minority Leader, please.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Those in support of this motion that we do adopt the report of the Committee of Supply as a working instrument of the Parliament say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The report of the Committee of Supply is hereby adopted as a working instrument of the Parliament. The 21st order of the day is the consideration of 5 bills stands in the name of the House Leader. Honorable Ihonvere is hereby invited to move for their consideration. 22nd.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Professor Julius Ihonvere, ON, DSSRS, KSC. I should go on. I rise to move that items 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26, which is HB 1593, HB 1592, HB 1594, SB 567, and SB 568 be stepped down for further legislative consultation.
Thank you, Leader of the House. Minority Leader, please. Second.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion that item number 23 to 26 on the other paper be stepped down by the leave of the House.
Thank you very much, Minority Leader. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Bill stepped down by the leave of the House. Honorable colleagues, thank you for staying up to this time. We really appreciate your patience. The order paper was filled up today, but Speaker did a good job by making it as fast as possible. Leader, please move that the House do adjourn till Tuesday, same time, same place.
Mr. Speaker, it is with great pleasure, anticipating the weekend, that I rise to move.
Leader, please, before you do that, can you move that we do approve, we waive our rules to approve the votes and proceeding of today to enable us to transmit this Eurobond bill? Just move for us to waive our rules to approve the vote and proceeding.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to move that we waive our rules to approve the adopted report from the Committee of Supply.
And the vote of proceedings of today, to waive our rules to...
As well, I so move.
Thank you very much. Seconder.
Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I do second.
Thank you very much. Those in support of this motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. I hereby approve the votes and proceedings of today, the 21st of November 2024. Please, Leader, move for the adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, dear colleagues, I rise to move that the House do adjourn to next week, Tuesday, 11 a.m., same venue. I so move.
Thank you. Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my highly respected colleagues, I stand to second the motion that we do adjourn to Tuesday next week, same time, same place.
Thank you. Those in support of this motion that we do adjourn to Tuesday, same time, same place, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The House is hereby adjourned to Tuesday, same time, same place. Have a lovely, lovely weekend.